Last weekend, I went with the family to Toronto, and we went to check out the aquarium that's there. It's a fantastic place to visit if you've never been there before. It's really cool. I highly recommend it. And after we were finished, while we were there, we were going out for supper and walking down the street, and there was tons of kids and adults all in cosplay, and we were trying to figure out what is going on. There's got to be a Comic-Con somewhere. And sure enough, after we ate supper, we went just down the street, probably 5 minutes, and we found the Toronto Comicon. Well, my kids and my wife wanted to go in, and well, hey, I'm for that, of course, if there's any toys there. And so we went in, I looked around. There wasn't a lot of toy vendors, but there was a couple. And we're going to take a look at some of the things that I got at that Comic-Con. I actually got a really, really nice badge that you could use to scan into the area, and you can scan it out so they can keep track of how many people are in the Comic-Con. And it was just a nice keepsake. It was part of the fee to get in. I actually got in for free because there was somebody there that had an extra ticket, and she scanned me in for free, and then I got my badge. So that was amazing. So buying the toys, I had some extra money to do that because I didn't have to pay the $35 Canadian to get into the Comic-Con. So first of all, I want to talk about Xandar. I had this as a child. This came out around 1980, I think 1986. 1986 was the last year I was buying G.I. Joe. I was in grade 6. I remember bringing my G.I. Joes in the classroom and hiding it underneath my desk and playing with them. And that's about the last year that I decided that I wanted to really play with toys. So I didn't have any vehicles from 1986, but I definitely had some of the figures, and this is one of them. We're going to compare him to my original Xandar that I had from my childhood. Hasbro, if you could just give me Monkey Wrench, and then I've got all of the Dreadnoks that I plan on getting anyway, but I just need Monkey Wrench. I think a lot of us will agree if you're collecting these. Next we have the 2-pack. We got Falcon and Quirrell. This is amazing. I actually do have the original Quirrell from, I'm not really sure what year it is, but it is a repaint of Scarlet version 2. I have her here. I got her about 20 years ago with her bike. So we'll take a look at her and compare her to the classified version. We'll also compare her to Scarlet since Quirrell is a repaint of Scarlet. And I have the retro classified version of Scarlet here that we will compare her to. We also have Falcon. This, of course, is a Night Force 2-pack. So, of course, Night Force, it's amazing. Now, they had 2 other Night Force figures there. They had, I think it was I can't remember what it was, Night Force Shockwave with the Night Force Ram. That would have been nice to have. But because we're at a Comic-Con, these figures were pretty expensive. This was $103 for a 2-pack, and this was $41, if you can see that price tag there. This was $41. I got these figures from CMD store. They're located in Quebec. I did go on his website, and these figures were cheaper on his website. So check them out. He only really sells new toys. I also picked this up at Toys R Us. This is amazing. I never thought I would buy any of the Masterverse stuff. I have been watching people review them. I just think it's a really cool line, but I only collect the vintage Masters of the Universe figures, and I only really collect the Origins MOTU figures. And I do have one Classics, and I had to buy that just because it was amazing. But I mainly bought this. Not only is he really, really amazing, he's actually a deluxe figure. He's an oversized deluxe figure. If you go on the website, Mattel's website, he's an oversized. I think this is from Wave 14 or something like that. But I bought him because he was only $20. $20. Look how much accessories he comes with. He's huge. He's, I think, supposed to be a 6-inch, but he's actually, I think, a little taller than 6-inch. We're going to take these out. We're going to look at these up close and see what they're all about. I'm going to start with Xandar first because I've been anticipating this figure for a while. I've had Zorana in my collection, and I really wanted him, and I finally got him. Just taking a look at some of the packaging here. He's 146. You can see his digital rendering there. I really like how they do that for the Dreadnoks. And you can see his artwork here. Looks really good. Here is Xandar and everything he comes with. Let's take a look at the details of this figure. You can see that he's got that pink bandana. Now, I will say that the colors on these classifieds, I've said this over and over again, that they are a little bit more muted. They're not quite as fluorescent and bright, and I'm okay with that. But for the Dreadnoks, I kind of like having the bright colors. I wish his colors were a little bit brighter, especially his backpack here where it's not a bright light blue. I do like the details of the quilting on that. Taking a look at the figure, he's got a holster here. He also has a larger sheath here for that big machete. He's got a sheath here for his smaller knife. And I really like the gold detail he has on his shoulders. This is a new updated detail with those skulls and the chain. He's got another skull here on the other shoulder pad. You can also see the gold belt buckle here and some chains dangling down there. He's got some gold on just the right glove, and he also has a Dreadnok tattoo on his right forearm. He's got some more gold accents on his boots. Along with the right foot, he has a gold toe. You would not want to be kicked by him. The weird thing about this figure that I don't really care about is he's got long hair. Did he have long hair in the cartoon? I can't remember. But the vintage figure had short hair. You can also see some detail in his ears there. He's got earrings in his ear. Looking at the back, you can see that there's some nice detail here on his armor that goes from the front to the back. And this also looks like that he is standing in the wind and it's flowing to the right side. So that's okay. I don't mind that. Looking at the other accessories, we can see he has a small pistol, smaller dagger here with some silver paint on the blade. He also has this hatchet with the silver paint on the blade, some kind of hatchet of some sort. And we can see his gun here with some paint details on the arrowhead and the shaft of the arrow too a little bit. That's a really cool gun. I like that. And here he is with all of his weapons on his body. He can hold everything, and I like that. Let's take a look at the vintage figure and compare. So the most notable thing here you can see with the vintage figure is he's got a bare chest with some tattoos there. You can see here he does have a knife on this side, and that's about it. He doesn't have any detail on the boots. He doesn't have any detail on the shoulders. And if we look at the back, you can see that his backpack is quite a bit different, and it's different color too. I do like the upgrades, but I wish he had short hair, and I think that the bright colors on Dreadnoks are better. Next, we're going to take a look at Vincent R. Falcon and Quirrell. We've got the Night Force 2-pack. This is really cool, and this is what they look like on the back. I really like that. This pack is number 138, and here is the artwork on the side. Now let's take a look at Falcon here. He's the Night Force Falcon. He's got those Night Force colors, browns, grays, blacks, and greens. A little touch of red here and there, and he looks really, really good. He's got paint on his arms to make it look like he's got hairy arms. Not sure if I like that. I've seen some other figures like that that had that, and I could do without that actually. We've got a holster here. We've got some pockets here. He's got some shells here. Now he does have a shotgun, so that's cool. Lots of pockets here, some more shells here. He is got all kinds of armor and ammo on his body. Taking a look at his accessories, we have this really nice backpack. The vintage one had an antenna. This one does come out, but it comes with the antenna already in the package. There's some ropes here, some canteens. Also has texture on the back and lots of paint work on that. We've got his shotgun. There is some gold detail there and some red detail here. And the stock does fold out like that. We also have this machine gun here. I'm assuming this is detachable. Yes, it is. We've got some kind of a copperish gold color on those bullets. So I like that. We have his flashlights here. We've got 2 of them. I like that. Hopefully they fit somewhere. He also has a small pistol with a magazine that is not removable. He has a large survival knife with silver paint on the blade. He also has a really nice grenade launcher here, and the grenades inside here do move, so that is a nice option. I don't think I'll be using this with him. Here you can see his beret. It's got some gold and red highlights on the front patch. Now the original figure traditionally came with a beret, but they also gave him this helmet. We've been seeing this a lot, and Hasbro is milking this helmet for as much as it's worth. Probably about 15 figures have come with it, and I don't mind that, but I will probably not use this helmet for him. I like the beret better. He also has night vision goggles here, which is great. He is Night Force. I probably will not be using these goggles either. He does have some nice detail on his left shoulder. You can see that here. I'm not sure what that means. It looks like the Earth with some kind of logo symbol on it. Probably like a Night Force thing. You can look at the bullets on his shoulder. Some great detail in there. The black boots. Butterfly joints. Now on his shoulders, these shoulder pads are removable. When I took it out of the package earlier, these were like down there like that. So they are removable. If you don't like them, you can take them off. I actually like those details. I think they look really good. He originally had a handkerchief, but it was tied in a bow in the front. And this is not the handkerchief that he had, but I know they're trying to just update the figure, but I wish they would have kept that detail the same from the vintage figure. I'm going to spend some time armoring him up, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to put him on the shelf in my collection. And obviously I can't put everything on him, so we've got 2 extra guns, a helmet, and I could probably use this on a different figure if I wanted to, and I'm not going to be using the night vision goggles, but it's really cool that he came with them. So there he is, all armored up, and there's one thing that I think they messed up on this figure, which is too bad, because if you look at this backpack, it really doesn't fit his back at all. They put the hole a little bit too high on his back right here. They could have put it here and put a hole in his armor here, and it would have sat probably at a better angle, but instead it sits like this, and I think that is too bad, because this is actually probably one of my favorite G.I. Joe figures I've gotten in a long time. Next, let's take a look at Quirrell. Now, if you don't know who this character is, I'm sure most of you guys do, but just in case, I'll let you know that she is actually not really a G.I. Joe figure, although Quirrell back in the 80s was a repaint of Scarlet, but she was an Action Force figure, and later on in Action Force's line, they started using the G.I. Joe figures for the Action Force figures. And, well, this is one of those figures that we didn't get in North America. And now they decided to give her the Night Force colors. And, well, she looks great. These are the actual colors that she came with from the UK. But these colors work really well with the Night Force. Taking a more up-close look, you can see she's got a earpiece in her left ear. She's got that really nice face sculpt there with blonde hair. She also has the same patch on her left shoulder that Falcon had. Of course, we've got some ninja stars here. She's got a pouch here for her arrows. She also has a sheath here for one of her knives. She does come with two knives. She also has a sheath here for the other knife. Got some more pockets there. And if we look in the back, we've got some really nice detail there. Now, there is some detail here that I noticed underneath, and that is really cool. There is the English flag underneath that shoulder pad there. And looking on the left shoulder, there is something else there. That is the symbol for Z-Force, which was the faction that she was in when she was with Action Force. That's really, really cool. We'll take a look at the vintage figure here in a minute. Let's take a look at her accessories here. Of course, we have the Steel Brigade helmet. You can exchange her hands here for some of these fists here, but I'm not going to use those because I want her to be able to hold some of these weapons. We've got another small pistol. We also have a crossbow here that's in two pieces that just fits together like that. Now you can put the arrows in here, and if you have Scarlet, it's the exact same accessory that she comes with. The rest of these arrows can actually go in her little pouch here. A straight bladed knife with no paint details, a curved bladed knife with some silver detail, and this huge machine gun. And this is how I'm going to display Quirrell on my shelf. There was no issues with putting anything on her. Everything fits really, really good. The one thing I will say though is that the crossbow does come apart pretty easily. So if she falls on your shelf, those parts will probably fall somewhere underneath something. So be careful with that. Let's compare her to the original Quirrell. So here is the original Quirrell. I'm not really sure when she came out. Was it 83, 84 maybe? She did come with the crossbow, and I think they did a great job recreating her. Obviously, this is the Scarlet head that they had from the G.I. Joe line here in North America, and I'm glad that they resculpted her head. I'm glad they didn't just use Scarlet's head. I don't believe this is a reuse. I believe that this is a brand new sculpt. I couldn't find any evidence of this being a repaint of a different classified female figure's head. And you can see that she's got the knife on the side. We do have the silver ninja stars instead of the red ones. Instead of having a grenade here, she does have that knife. You can see an update of some kind of digital timer there. And she also didn't come with the slingshot on her butt. And just an all-around great update to this figure. So the one thing that we didn't get with Quirrell was the original Action Force motorcycle, or the Ram as we all know it here in North America. I'm not really sure what they called it in the UK, but it's the exact same mold as the Hasbro one. And I guess, well, the fact that she didn't come with it. Now I do have the one that came with Breaker, and I really don't know why they gave Breaker the Ram cycle. He didn't really come with the Ram cycle back in the 80s. I may consider giving the classified Quirrell the classified Ram in my collection. Here's a comparison of her with the second version of Scarlet here. You can see that the body mold is exactly the same. Some of the detail of the sheaths and the straps, but like I said, I'm really happy that they gave her a new head. Next, I want to take a look at Slushhead here. It's a Masterverse He-Man figure. He is from the New Adventures of He-Man, actually. We've got some artwork here on the side, and we have some artwork here on the back. And it's weird how nowhere on this packaging it says that this is the New Adventures of He-Man. Looking at the Masterverse Slushhead here, he is a really amazing looking figure. Now at first glance, when I saw this figure in the box, I was like, wow, look at all the stuff he comes with. And I don't have the stuff here, and I'll show you why here in a minute, because I was just kind of fooling around with him for a few minutes before I decided to do this review. And there is some major problems with this figure, and some things I actually don't like at all. And he's going to be great on display the way I want to display him, except for one thing, and I'll show you that here in a minute. So looking at this piece here, he does come with a second head, and I couldn't figure out how to get the head off, or how to get the dome off to get the head out. And what you have to do here is you have to pull these little straps off and then pull this whole piece off to exchange the head. That's just a little bit too much work for me, really. And I like the head that's in there anyway. Here's the second head. It is a different head. The ears are not pointy, and it's a little bit of a thinner head instead of this wide jaw head. I don't know why. Some other things we can look at, he's got some piping here, some tubes that is on his biceps and comes down to his wrists. They're both on there. They are separate pieces too. And he's got some nice detail here on the legs. He's got his shin guards here, and he does have some clawed feet. Those are really cool. And I also noticed that trying to move this ankle, it's on a really small peg here, and I tried moving it, and it's going to break if I keep trying to force the movement. So it's where it is, and I can't move it anymore. Now, taking a look at the accessories, we've got this kind of backpack here that plugs into his back like this. And of course, there's 4 holes that you can plug his extra mechanical arms in. Now, before we look at the mechanical arms, he does have a couple extra hands here. He's got a fist, and he's got 2 webbed hands. I like the webbed hands actually, but they won't be able to hold anything, and I do want him to hold his weapon. If we look at his weapon here, that is really cool. So I'm going to leave these hands on him. I guess I could exchange the right hand and give him that webbed hand. Let's do that now. Hopefully it doesn't break. Yeah, I like that a lot. He has a second thing that you can put on his back. I guess some slush in there, some kind of mutation stuff. And it's got all of these holes here where you can put these extra arms, pieces that plug into either backpack. We've got this almost like an anchor. We have another kind of projectile here, or some kind of hook. That's really cool. We have this one-fingered claw of some sort. And we have this. Now, an unfortunate thing is I was putting the claws into his backpack here, and I dropped the figure from here to here. The claw came down, the arm came down, and just hit the table and broke. So I don't know. I'm really annoyed with that. The fact that this was only a $20 figure, I guess it's okay, but now I'm going to have to fix this. Instead of it being painted, it's actually a silver plastic. So here's that backpack all put together. I temporarily glued this claw on. It'll probably be just fine if I don't do too much. But what I noticed about these extra arms here is they're actually articulated right here where they plug into the backpack, and I'll probably never move those just because I'm afraid that actually I'm going to move this one just to see how it articulates, and it does articulate without breaking so far, but they're really fragile, so I probably won't move it too much. Now this backpack is super heavy and he probably won't stand with it on, but he does have holes in his feet, so you can use a figure stand for him. And here's the other things that I'm not going to be using. I'm probably going to have to find a stand for him, and I'll get him standing up, and then we'll reveal all of the figures together. Thanks for watching this episode up to this point. I really appreciate you hanging out with me and checking out these figures with me for the first time. I really enjoyed sharing my experience with that and sharing the experience that I had with my family up in Toronto. The Comicon was fun. I probably won't go to the Toronto Comicon again. There just wasn't enough toy vendors for me, and I'm not really a comic collector or even a reader too much. So I probably will not go to the Comic-Cons in Toronto, but I did enjoy the experience of doing it for the first time, and I met some cool people, some cool sellers, and it's fortunate enough for somebody to pay my way in for me. So that was really cool. Please comment down below and let me know what your experience is with these figures if you collected them, and especially Slushhead here. I did manage to get him standing up, and he's looking really great. I love the pose that I have him in. Like I showed you, he did have some flaws and a break in the figure right away after I dropped it about 2 inches. And I'm just curious to know if any of you guys that watching this collect Masterverse, if you found any problems with these figures like I have today, or you just think they're amazing and you're going to continue collecting them. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode.